look at that. Good evening, everybody. Everybody out there in Facebook land, all that good stuff, YouTube, Twitter, wherever else we're on in this great Tuesday evening. Of course, it is your boy, the bearded, chubby man, 100 grand, always on hand. Nick Rosario, again here with Let's Talk Football, the Roundtable. But of course, as you know, I am never alone, my friend. I have the lovely and talented Delilah Crespo with me,
hey.
and also Mr. They call me Mr. Fingers, but
Yes,
Anthony
sir.
Handy, Mr. Fingers. Guys, how are we doing tonight? It's Tuesday night. It's a little cool here in Chicago. How we doing? In Chicago? How's it in Oklahoma City there, Mr. Fingers?
Brother, it is 78 degrees
Ooh,
right now.
that's nice.
It is incredible.
That is phenomenal.
Dude, it is like the week before I went to Virginia, it was pushing about 108. So we're talking about a 30-degree variance in temperature almost. Maybe up into the lower 80s, and I'm loving every minute of it. Because that means that fall weather's around the corner now. Of course, the Uggs and the pumpkin spice are going to be everywhere, but that also means that it is time for football, and I'm here for all of that. Like they say in the streets, I am here for all of that.
There you go, Delilah. How are you doing tonight?
Well, I love fall. I just don't like back to school, but I like fall.
At least you're honest, right? I don't like back to school.
Fall is beautiful here.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you out. Did your students haven't made you lose your mind yet, have they?
No, it's not. I wish. The kids are fine, actually. It's all the back end stuff. Every educator will tell you. It's really,
Right. It's the administrative and the adults. They're worse.
So, but yeah, no. But I do love fall. I like seeing the change in the leaves and, enjoy that and all the fall flavors. And yeah, I'll go basic sometimes. I have a pumpkin spice latte.
There it is. The good old pumpkin spice latte. You know what? That's the other thing, man. It's pumpkin season again because all I see is pumpkin spice this and pumpkin spice that. Fantastic. Even though I'm not a pumpkin guy, some of that stuff I can tolerate.
Some of it's gone too far, though.
Yeah. You think so? No,
yeah,
like pumpkin spice Cheerios, I've seen those on the market. Why do I need Cheerios with another flavor? I don't know. Right. Well, I digress. It's football time, ladies and gentlemen. We're all here on this Tuesday, and we got kind of a new name for an old segment. So here we go. We're going to get started with our new segment called The Coin Toss. And basically, this is our news and notes segment of the show. But I just thought the coin toss was just a much cooler name, personally. So, anyways, you like that, don't you? You like this. See, I was working today while you were out there jogging or whatever you were doing. You know what I'm saying? I was in there putting in the sweat equity.
I went to work today, sir, and then I got to work out.
Oh, okay. Okay, my bad. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to look. I'm trying to stay zaddy status for the missus. All right.
Right.
You could tell the difference there, folks. We got two gym rats, and I'm over here eating ho-hos on my couch. But anywho, let's get. I can't help it. I'm a chubby guy. What am I going to do? But anyway.
Don't feel bad, bro. I ate a whole thing of EO fudge last night. The whole thing.
Oh, look at that. EO fudge. Those are good cookies. Anywho, let us get to our first topic. Oh, God. See, double stuffed even. Look at this guy. Killing me. But our first segment, of course, the coin toss. Our first bit of business actually is Jimmy G has agreed to restructure his contract, folks, to stay in San Francisco with a no trade clause, but obviously he could be traded if the right deal was made, and a no franchise tag clause. Delilah, how do you feel about this move by the 49ers and Jimmy G?
I think this is a great deal for Jimmy G, to be honest, because he gets to leave after the season too. So it's not like, and by that point, he really is a free agent, could do what he wants. So for him, this is a cushy deal. Like, he's getting paid the money that he wanted, right? Because he just wanted to. For him, I think it had more to do with respect. He's like, I put in the seasons. I took you guys to the playoffs, So, like, I really think that's really why he wanted to leave. And when they gave him, hey, you know what? This is our future right now. So we're going to start trade, but here's this money. And so, honestly, I think he got the good end of that deal, to be honest.
Now, Mr. Fingers, I'm going to ask you this because, honestly, in thinking about this, what is San Francisco, when you think about it, like Delilah said, Jimmy could walk at the end of this year if they don't trade him. What do you think about this whole deal with Jimmy G staying in San Francisco?
Bro, it's literally like if you were in the casino and you were counting cards in your head and you were holding pot, you had 2 10s and you knew the next card was an ace. Jimmy G, I'm right there with Delilah. It's like he's got a no trade clause. He's got a no trade clause. Yeah, they can trade him if they want to, but he's got a no trade clause. He gets to stay in San Francisco. He can carry a clipboard while still getting paid. And then at the end of the season, if they're still not willing to show him that love, then he could pedal his wares anywhere he wants to pedal them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's not like him having to wait and go, oh my God, are they gonna trade me to Jacksonville? Like, or am I gonna get traded to Cleveland and watch my career be over? Because that's where quarterbacks' careers go to die. I think he got I think he got a great deal. Honestly, I think he would have been a phenomenal quarterback if he could have just stayed healthy. So this for him is a great deal. More than likely, he's going to wind up being a clipboard holder that's going to maybe sit in 2 or 3 games a year, no matter where he plays. But at least right now, he's getting that bag before he leaves San Francisco.
Yeah, see, my thing too was that his shoulder surgery, I think, scared a lot of people off in March when he had the surgery and everything. People were like, "Oh, wait, we're not so." Well, I have to agree with you, Kate. This is what the point I was getting to is that Trey Lance has had 2 starts and a minimal amount of college games. Are we really betting the San Francisco team is a playoff team. They were in the NFC championship game last year, boys and girls.
Yes, they were.
So they beat the Packers. However you want to look at it, they beat the Packers in that divisional playoff game. But you're trusting a guy who started 2 games. I know he's your second-year quarterback. You moved up to draft him 3rd. But do we trust Trey Lance to really get this job done? I know Jimmy's sitting there probably, secretly gnawing his teeth going, man, I can't wait till this kid screws up so I can get myself back in there. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, that San Francisco is betting everything they have on Trey Lance. And, I get Jimmy staying where he is because there wasn't a lot of action or activity for him. Because I believe trade talks started earlier and a lot of teams didn't seem to bite. And so knowing that Jimmy was available and now probably realizing that there wasn't a lot out there for him, I see, like you said, for Jimmy, it's a great deal. He stays put. He gets paid. And at the end of the year, he can walk away if nothing's done with him. So, like you said, he's definitely got the upper hand here. And I think even has the upper hand in terms of we'll see him play again this season.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you, if Trey Lance can, comes out and doesn't have a great start to the season or starts to, just not play well, Jimmy, I don't think they'll hesitate, to get Jimmy back in there. He's a proven veteran. He's a leader. They love him in the locker room. So, yeah, that's an interesting one for me. I'm definitely going to wait and see how that develops, especially since in week 1, Delilah, they do play our beloved Bears. And I know nobody's giving us the chance to win that game, but I'm telling you, if we can get to the Rook, we might have a shot, baby. But that's another subject for another time.
That's okay. I agree with you. I do agree, though. Like, I don't think Shanahan will hesitate, like you said. Like, if push comes to shove, we all know who Shanahan, all these like up and coming young coaches learn from, right? And so, like, I do agree with that part too, right? That if it comes down to Trey Lance not cutting it, 49ers kind of has a safety net.
Yeah.
So. No, for sure.
It doesn't make it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'd say you and Kate make a good point. You both make a good point about that.
Yeah, and it's just but the biggest thing is that the 49ers at some point you knew they were gonna have to put him out there because they picked him 3rd in the draft, and they were at some point you're gonna have to put him on the field and go, okay, we're taking the training wheels off. Either you're gonna ride or you're gonna, like Cat Williams say, if you ride, you're gonna fall. So either you're gonna ride or you're gonna fall. One of those two, and they got to find out which one that Trey is gonna do.
Well, there you go, sage advice, my friend. All right, let's move on to the second topic in coin toss. This one is a more serious one. Again, Obviously, we've all heard the story by now of Matt Araiza, the punter from Buffalo, who was alleged to have actually raped a young girl while he was in college. Not a great story, obviously. No one likes to hear this kind of thing. And, of course, the NFL's position was that because this was something that happened before he was a professional, that they couldn't really do anything. But Delilah, Buffalo stepped up and said, sorry, we are cutting you. But my question would be to you, if found innocent, if he's not guilty of this and he claims his innocence, do you think he gets another chance in the NFL after the given recent history and the way that Buffalo discarded of him? Do you think Matt gets another chance if proven innocent?
I don't think so. I think that even, we all have heard about that. Like once you're accused of something like that, regardless if people find you guilty or not guilty, people still don't really trust you, right? We've you pay attention to all this true crime stuff, right? Where someone's accused who's actually innocent, but people still look at you side eye, right? So I think that whoever he was with, regardless if he participated or not, now these are the repercussions of what went down, right? So I really don't think that anyone in NFL is going to take a chance on him, even if he's found. It's just not with, in light of recent events, right? Everything that's going on. Again, when the NFL said that, a lot of people were upset too. But again, they said they don't have a policy for what stuff happens, before you become a professional. Right. And so I think just with everything going on, the Watson, I just don't think anybody's going to want to touch this kid anymore. They just they don't want that hovering over, people were, I know a lot of people believed in this kid, right? Everybody saw him, like he was really talented. And so there were some hopes that, he would come in and make a splash. And just with an accusation like this, I think his NFL career is over. I really don't think a team will take a shot on this kid.
Okay, well, Anthony, or Mr. Hint, Mr. Fingers, as they like to call him, or as he likes to be called, I have a question for you then. Given that this happened, like I said, before he was drafted, do you think maybe the NFL should institute a policy maybe or vet these people better to find stuff like this out before a kid like this is even drafted? What do you think of that?
I think they're at some point they're going to have to, but we know that the NFL does a lot of talk here and sometimes very little action here. I kudos to the Bills for coming through like they did. We were just talking about the whole thing with Deshaun Watson a couple weeks ago, and they came back and said, okay, well, we're gonna, you know what I mean? So it may be part of it is, let's just say it turns out down the road that he was innocent of all charges. This was kind of the NFL going, okay, we might not have done right by this Deshaun Watson thing, but we kind of had a legal standpoint to do. So we're going to make up for it on this side. You know what I'm saying? So I think they need to? Absolutely. I mean, you are every single person that gets signed by the NFL as a player, as an employee, as a coach, as a whatever it is you do. You are a representative of the league, and everything that you do reflects upon the league. And especially in 2022 with women's rights and things like that, and things that I'm not trying to but please don't think I'm dogging the Me Too movement, but I'm going to bring that up, that with the Me Too movement and people trying to bring awareness to things like this that happen, they're going to have to at some point. I mean, we talked about what happened with the whole thing with Michael Vick. People didn't want to go to games because they had a guy that killed dogs, that fought dogs and killed them. And then Ray Rice, of course. I think they're going to have to. The short answer is yes. I think the NFL is going to have to do something like that.
No, that's a good explanation. Good.
I kind of agree with that.
Just to kind of add to what happened. So basically, this is a civil lawsuit. But it is being investigated though. So what everybody is saying is that right now it's a civil lawsuit. The girl came forward. They're protecting her identity, which is why you just hear her as Jane Doe. So right now it's a civil lawsuit, but the criminal investigation is still ongoing. So it does not mean that he will not face criminal charges. They're just gathering all this kind of information. And so there's just a lot of things, there's like all these different legality things happening. So the young lady is suing him and the other players who were part of, the gang rape. And then there's still an ongoing investigation, and it's taking place in California because this is where he went to college. And so there might be criminal charges later. They just, everything's kind of up in the air. So that's another reason why I think that they also cut him, because as soon as they learn that there's an ongoing investigation, they're not going to want to risk that twin cost, right? Like, is he guilty, not guilty? And then he goes to jail. And so I think that's why the Buffalo was like, we're done. We're not going to deal with this. We're not going to wait for whatever happens. They just wanted to move on from that. And they're like, that's it, you know? And so I think that's the other reason why he was cut. It wasn't just a civil lawsuit. It's because
I know
that is an ongoing investigation. And he may still, with the other football players being accused, they still might face criminal charges. And so I think that's the other reason why the Bills cut them, because they're not going to wait for whatever the decision is.
Yeah, I mean,
and a lot of times in the NFL, let's be honest, it's image. And Buffalo's a Super Bowl contender, my friend. Yeah, and I'm again, I'm not saying, I'm just saying that could have definitely played a part in their decision as well. That hey, we don't need that kind of distraction here all year while this carries on. Like I said, in the court system, we're going to nip this in the bud now and move on with our season.
Yeah, college case in point.
Go ahead, sir.
I'm sorry, college. I do that all the time, and I'm sorry. I'm just going to start holding up the church finger, and y'all, so y'all can come to me when y'all speak y'all point. Just the last football season. An almost identical scenario with Adam Anderson, who was one of the star players of the Georgia Bulldogs, who had similar accusations come up, and he was released from the team. And there's a criminal investigation that is still ongoing. They haven't even gone to court yet. It's been a year since those accusations came up. So
look at that. Yeah, carry on for a while.
Yeah, so it's going to go on for a while, and this is not something that the NFL wants to have hanging over there, hanging over like a black cloud. I mean, there's already enough stuff going on in the league. I mean, they still got the whole Dan Snyder mess going on. Sorry, Sean, I'm not trying to dog your team.
All right. Well, listen, let's go ahead. I think we all kind of agree on that point that Matt Araiza being cut was the right thing to do. Let us move on. And I'm sure, as all of you know, today was the day where everybody was down to 53 players on their roster. Today was National Cut Day for the NFL. 3 p.m. Every team had their, at least for today, their 53-man roster. As we all know, there's plenty of people who were cut today. And there's a lot of notable names on this list. And I really wanted to go over this because I thought some of the names that were gone, especially in the running back department, I'm sure there are teams out there who will scoop these guys up. Just the 3 big names off the top. Duke Johnson, who's a veteran running back, obviously was cut by Buffalo. We had Sony Michel cut by the Dolphins. And Marlon Mack, kind of in a surprise, because they're going out with Damian Pierce and Rex Burkhead in their back end. The Texans cut Marlon Mack. Now, Mr. Fingers, I will ask you, sir. These 3 running backs, man, do you see these 3 guys getting on teams this year? Who do you think needs a running back and a veteran presence there in the backfield?
I definitely see Sony Michel getting picked up. He put in some work in New England, but he doesn't have, he's not one of those running backs like like Ezekiel Elliott, that has a lot of mileage on him, doesn't have a whole rack of injuries. Plus, he's a guy that has played on a couple of squads that have gone to Super Bowl, so he's also got that Super Bowl winning experience. Not that it was like he was Tom Brady slinging the ball around for 5,000 yards a game, but still, I definitely think he finds a landing spot. And now, who needs a running back? Oh, I can't think of any team that necessarily would need a running back. I mean, let me think. Let me wipe my head while I think a minute.
Of course.
I mean, of course. There are a few teams that could definitely use a running back. Yesterday on our fellow show, Watching the Football Weekly, we talked about the unfortunate incident with B-Rob. So, that could be a easy finger snap landing spot for him. So I definitely think that he will he'll find a landing spot with nothing flat.
Yeah, also Philip Lindsay of the Colts was on that running back list of notable names cut. So it's 4 decent running backs there who could definitely find a home. Delilah, I'm going to come with you with the quarterbacks, some of the quarterbacks that were released. Let's
go.
Listen to some of these. Right? Yeah, we got poor Josh Rosen. Poor Josh Rosen gets released by the Browns. That poor kid. Talk about a guy with bad luck all the way around, right? You get on a team and then they draft Kyler Murray, then they get rid of you. The Browns bring in Deshaun. He gets suspended for 11 games. They're going to start Jacoby Brissett, and they cut you. So there you go. But Josh Johnson of the Broncos and Logan Ryan of the, or sorry, not Logan Ryan. My guy Kellen Mond of the Vikings was also cut, which I kind of wanted. I figured they need a backup there for Mr. Michigan State Kirk Cousins. But the interesting one to me is Josh Johnson, because as you probably know, Johnson was with the Broncos. This guy's played on 15 different teams in his 15 NFL seasons, and he gets cut again. But Delilah, the couple of these quarterbacks are like Kellen Mond is still a young kid. Josh Rosen, for all intents and purposes, has only been in the league 4 years. So I mean, what do you think here of these quarterbacks released? Can we see them catching on with anyone? What do you think?
I don't know. I think because honestly, like, I guess maybe Dallas, because then they cut their 2 backups.
Well, Dallas did something very interesting really quickly, right? For those who don't know, they only have 1 quarterback on their 53-man roster as of today. They cut everybody else. So you got Dak Prescott, and that's it. So you better hope somebody clears waivers or whatever. You sign them in the practice squad or get another quarterback in there, because I don't know about that one.
I don't know.
We're going to have to talk to Ashley Swinton about that one, because, I don't know what they're doing there in Dallas. I don't know what they're doing over there, but anyway, say that.
Anyway,
we can talk about that later, right?
Sorry,
let's go back to this list, right?
Well, you said who could use some backups.
Well, that's true. Yeah, no, but, I did say that, right? I did ask the question.
Anyway, no, but it's difficult to say, because now that if you look around the league, aside from a few outliers, everybody's got like their backups already, and so just anybody who gets picked up will be like just a reserve, and if they have the spot for them too, that's the thing, right?
Yeah, so, true, very true.
I feel like maybe Rosen might get picked up by somebody. It's possible that he does get third string kind of deal somewhere,
right? Right. End up on a practice squad, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. It's difficult because there are a lot of. Yeah, I don't know. If you look around the league, the QBs are pretty good, except again, like the team I mentioned.
Except the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, so I don't know. And, and Josh Johnson, I think because, he's a veteran, so I feel like someone will pick him up because he's got the.
I'd like to say, why not go to your 16th NFL team, Josh?
Yeah, I think. I think that I think someone might take a chance on him just because, like, again, like, regardless of all the quips and everything, like, he has been in the league long enough, so at least he knows the system, like, he understands. So, like, if something crazy happens and your 2 guys go down, like, he could come in and, like, So I could see him being picked up also, and be a reserve for a team out there.
I could definitely see that too. But it's an interesting list, and my thing is, when I was looking at this list, there's a couple of names that stood out to me just because. One, I think the Bears could benefit. The Buccaneers cut a young receiver, Tyler Johnson, and I think this is a kid. The Bears are 7th as far as the waiver wire goes, and I'm thinking if he's there, man, the Bears should really pick this kid up. He's a good young kid with speed. And Lord knows that we could use some help in our receiver room, just saying. But I think Tyler Johnson was a name that was a little surprising to people. Also, their defensive back, Logan Ryan, was also cut by the Buccaneers, which I think was a second, was kind of a shock as well. But, the Buccaneers are loaded in different positions. So, they're going to do what they do on their road to trying to get back to the Super Bowl. But one name I don't know if I was a little shocked, but I don't think maybe he didn't live up to his potential. Was the Raiders cut Alex Leatherwood, who was their offensive tackle first-round pick last year at number 17, and now he's gone. So he'll be looking for a new home as well. So, we got linemen out here. O.J. Howard was cut by the Bills, so, veteran tight end.
Yeah.
He can't go back to Tampa Bay because they got like 4 of them. But, maybe O.J. Howard ends up somewhere in the backfield. Not long after the Falcons pick him up for the practice squad, they'll get Ritter, Rosen sooner than later. That's very clever, whoever wrote that one. Facebook user is all I got. So identify yourself if you know who you are.
That's Ben Cornett. That's our buddy Ben.
Was that Ben Cornett? Okay, so that was our buddy Ben. See, all right, I can see the Bears definitely getting Tyler Johnson. Thank you, whoever that is, because I agree with you. That would be fantastic. I think so anyways. But again, for all our fans out there, that's just a small list of a lot of the people who are cut. Obviously, again, with the waiver wire now and people looking at other things, I think you can pretty much guarantee that most teams will make a small move here or there.
Yeah.
And that the 53-man roster will not look the same on opening day as it does today.
It always
I think we can all agree
happens.
on that.
That always happens. Yeah.
Exactly.
Some weird things happen. Like I really I'm still rooting for Devin Allen, the Olympian, man. I really like.
Oh,
I really
so
want.
I was like, all for it. There she goes. Right, there we go.
I really do.
Okay.
I want to see if he can actually, put the speed in actually, with the defenders chasing you down,
Right. Sure.
your line. He got cut from the Eagles as well, and I don't know. It just.
Yep.
Take a shot. Who knows?
Take a shot. That's why that waiver wire is there, baby. You take a shot on someone, right? All righty then. Well, now that we've finished officially, that's all for the coin toss this week. So thank you for paying attention to that. Our next segment is also a new one to the Let's Talk Football Roundtable this year, and it features the lovely Delilah Crespo. Take a look at this. That's right, folks. It's this day in NFL history. And we're going to throw it over to our host for this segment. You know her from Diversity with Delilah, which you can see on Sundays this fall. But for now, let's go to Delilah and this day in NFL history.
All right. So it's not going to be exactly this day, but it is a notable time in August in NFL history. And basically, on August 20th, 1920, we had the precursor of the NFL as we know it. So on August 20th, 1920, that's when American football really got its big break. Obviously, football has been happening in this country since like the 1890s, but it was this month, this day, and this year that the NFL got its most humble kind of debut in the Huckmobile Auto Showroom in Canton, Ohio. So basically, all these like kind of professional football leagues in Ohio kind of got together. The Akron Pros, the Canton Bulldogs, the Cleveland Indians, and the Dayton Triangles. And they basically were the ones who kind of laid down the foundation of what would be the NFL. And so like kind of they came up with how you can create it into more of a real league. And so they kind of came up with some of the rules that I guess, by the way, a notable name, Jim Thorpe, who I discussed during Diversity with Delilah, was one of the men involved in forming what would be the NFL. And so they kind of said, like, look, we need to kind of make something lucrative out of this. It was all hodgepodge. I don't know if anybody's ever studied kind of football from the, way in the 1890s, but everything was kind of hodgepodge. Everything was really kind of regional. People kind of went out. And so these guys were like, well, we should kind of have a set schedule. So that's kind of where they started to create a game plan. Let's create a schedule which would eliminate confusion between regions and states, banning poaching of players from other teams, an end of season championship, and some sort of trophy. The decisions that players still on college teams wouldn't be signed to pro at the same time, right? So that they were the ones who kind of laid the groundwork to what would be eventually the NFL. And so at this time, they called it the American Professional Football Conference, right? And it only had 5 teams, these teams that I said from Ohio, but they were the ones, this initial meeting that kind of set the groundwork for what would be the NFL today, right? Kind of, hey, let's create a schedule so that it's easier for fans to follow, right? The players, the teams. And so there should be, again, like some championship. And so in August 1920, that's kind of the birth of the NFL, sort of. So it was a precursor. Remember this date because then in September, I will actually dive into the actual birth of the NFL. When they actually started forming and added more regional teams from other states and things like that. So kind of cool to know that in August, that's the groundwork to what would be the National Football League was laid. So anyway, something kind of cool to think about. And then September, I will kind of add a little bit more to that and what would be the modern NFL. So that's what I've got.
Thank you, Delilah. That was a great segment. There we go. Got my mic back on. Sorry about that, folks. But we thank you, Delilah, for that. Every week, people, we will catch this day in football history with Delilah. But you can also catch our entire family of Let's Talk Football shows. We have one almost just about every day of the week. So let's take a look at what we got going on there. Now, see, that's awesome. There's plenty of opportunity, guys, for you to catch all of our shows here in the Let's Talk Football family. If you want to see my pretty face again, you can. You see, I'm on the Sunday show. Delilah has the ladies takeover, and Diversity Delilah will appear on Sundays. Mr. Handy, as you saw, Mr. Fingers, as he likes to be called. You will see him on the college show, this show. He'll appear on the Sunday show. Everybody's everywhere. So thank you for watching. And again, make sure you catch all our shows in the Let's Talk Football family. So right now we're going to go on to another segment. This one we'd like to call Over Under. What I'm going to do, or for those of you who maybe are a little confused by what that means, simply what it means is I'm going to give these guys and myself a couple of things, and we're going to determine whether or not they think it should be over or it should be under. So, Delilah, we will start with you because our beloved Bears, there's a lot of, how should I say, from the experts, a lot of hate as to how we're going to do this year, and a lot of, I hear a lot of 3-14 and 4-13 talk, but the Vegas odds makers have put us at 6.5 for wins this year. Okay. So what do you say, my dear? Over or under? And give me a reason, baby.
Over.
I like it already.
I finally saw growth in our young quarterback here coming into sophomore year this past week. I think that the era is changing because we have football minded people finally in charge of football. And so there's some kinks, but I do like that they're finally, making sure that these guys are disciplined and actually putting in the work. And so I'm perfectly fine with that. And I do think we'll win more than 6.5 games. It's a longer season. And I feel like there's a lot of these games that people have us losing that I think we actually have the potential to win and surprise people. Because we've done it before too. We've won games we weren't supposed to win. That's something that we're known for. And so I definitely do see us going over 6.5.
I like it because I happen to agree with you. I know people are going to think we're nuts, but I don't really care because I think my Bears are definitely going to surprise a lot of people with the way they played in the preseason. They've hustled more. They get to the ball. The offensive line is doing much better. We'll see how that holds up, but I'm pretty confident we can get over 6.5 wins. Now, here's one for our Falcons, buddy, Mr. Fingers. I got one for you that I think is be interesting. I'm going week 6. Over under, do we see Desmond Ridder take over for Marcus Mariota? Week 6, over under.
Oh man, I'm going all the way over.
Okay.
I'm going all the way over.
No, go ahead, man.
Yeah, there haven't been a whole ton of everything that I've heard about Marcus Mariota has been middle of the road. Nothing pops out. Like when he first came into camp, they're like, oh, okay, he might have a little something left in the tank, and then it just started to it's been kind of like watching the ticker at the stock market. It's just been kind of a little gradual decline. And Yeah, oh my God, I don't even want to talk about my 401k. Anyway, yeah, I'm definitely going in. I'm definitely going with the over. I just don't see Mariota having enough juice in the tank to make it to the halfway point and see. I would be, you know what, if he makes it that far and he does well, I will be pleasantly surprised. I'll still be yelling dirty birds, but I think we'll see Ritter before week 6.
Okay.
So actually, it's okay. I'll get you. I feel you. All right, Delilah,
under.
let's go with the next one.
All right.
Right. I didn't want to, yeah. So technically it's the under, but that's okay. I get his point. And like you said, we shall see. Delilah, Derek Carr, over or under 4,000 passing yards this year. Derek Carr, 4,000 yards, over under. What do you think?
Under.
Oh, Delilah's going under on the 4,000. Now, see, I'm curious. Give me some reasons there, dear. I'd like to hear this.
So I understand like that he has a Devontae. I get it why everybody is saying that, but at the same time, they're hoping that's the same chemistry from college, but the Raiders always mess up. Look, I'm sorry. Okay, they put your hopes up year after season after season. And so I don't see it. Like even with Devontae, I think it's gonna happen just like what happened with Cup, where like he would make up the yards. In my opinion, it'll be the same thing. Devontae, he'll have a pass. Devontae might run it for like another 90 yards. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I got you.
I just think that with him there, he's gonna make up more of the yards than people think. I don't see him going over 4,000 this season.
Right, fair enough. That's how you. I mean, I'll be interested to see, like you said, having Hunter Renfrow and Devontae Adams there, and you still got the tight end Waller. We'll see what Derek Carr pulls out of his magic hat this year for the Raiders. All right, Mr. Fingers, I got one for you. Zeke Elliott rushing touchdowns for this season. I got it at 12. Over or under? Zeke Elliott, 12 touchdowns.
I'm gonna go under, but only slightly under.
Okay.
I think
give me a reason, big boy.
I think he misses that mark by maybe 1 or 2. I tell you why. You want to know why?
I love to hear
tell you why.
Listen, that's right. I want to hear.
Listen, Skip. When I played football, when I was at Savannah State, when I was with the Broncos, when I was with the Ravens, I played for both the teams, won the Super Bowl with each of the teams, but we won't talk about that. I see you shuffling your papers over there, Skip. Be careful. It's not your turn yet. When I was at one of the biggest things that was instilled upon me, my brother Sterling always told me, make sure you take care of your money maker. So I stayed in the gym. You have to recuperate, and Zeke has I don't see Zeke being as dedicated to the gym and his workout regimen. Not only that, they put a lot of, let me step out of character. Honestly, Zeke has had a ton of reps. Like Zeke beat his body up trying to get that bag. And I think he got that bag and he took a step back for a minute. And he's like, all right, when you get beat up like that, it's hard to just, and you take a step back, it's hard to just pick up and go back. And he went out and he's like, all right, I got my little rest in. Let's do what we do. And the body was like, what are you doing? Like, hold up, killer. You forgot what you did last couple seasons. That was nice and all, but now it's time to get restitution. We coming back to Shannon Sharp. I want my restitution. So I see him. It's okay, Delilah. It's funny. I know you're not trying not to bust out, but real talk, I think he'll miss it just by a couple. He's
okay.
You know what I mean? I think they're gonna.
Well, I know two young ladies who might disagree with you, but again, Ashley and Janae. But anyways. I like where we're going with that, though. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to be as easy for Zeke as they, people would like. I know everybody's still, they still call it. Even Kate chimed in with an under. Look at that. Kate Alverson, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't believe in Zeke Elliott either. There you go.
I mean,
the love. I can just feel the love from everybody out there for the Dallas Cowboys, can't you?
I mean, I feel like
go ahead,
I feel like he'll be effective. I feel like he'll still be effective, but he is
right. But the touchdowns won't quite be that much.
Yeah, a far cry from rookie season.
Right. No, fair enough. Fair enough, my friend. Again, I'm indifferent to the Cowboys, so it doesn't matter to me. But yeah, as long as the Bears beat them, that's all I really care about. Delilah, well, I'm sure Sydney Swinton will want to pay attention to this one. Kenny Pickett by week 7. Over, under. Do we see him instead of Mitchell Trubisky, who looks like he'll be the starter? Kenny Pickett, week 7. Over, under.
Under. But like by a game.
Oh.
By like a week.
Oh, so you think, okay. So by week 6, we see Kenny Pickett, huh?
One, he is it's not just because I do want to see Mitch do well, by the way. I've said that, and there's multiple seasons, by the way. I'm not a Mitch hater.
Right.
Roll the tape on previous Roundtable and all these other shows I've been on. But no, I think also there is this pressure because he is the hometown kid. And that there's a big tie with him and the Steelers. And I know that people want Mitch to do well, but I also know Steelers fans want to see him play. You know what I mean? So yes. It's just like
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like yes, we want Mitch to do well, but he is the hometown kid. Everybody saw him ball out and they got excited, during the preseason. And so like I just think with all of those factors, I do see him stepping into play. Probably by week 6.
All right, so we got the under on that one. One more for you, Mr. Fingers. Tyreek Hill got his money and his new job in Miami with Tua Tagovailoa. So I ask you, sir, Tyreek Hill over under 15 receiving touchdowns. Over under. Anthony, I think we can't hear you, Mr. Fingers.
I'm going to go with the over.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the over.
15.
I think that they will make the adjustments. We won't see as much of Tyreek just running out and having Mahomes will just heave it and he just run under it. We'll see a lot more of plays that are designed to be shorter plays that will allow him to two of them to make the connection, and then Tyreek will do the rest. I think you're gonna see a lot more. You're gonna see a lot more of his touchdowns being yak touchdowns versus, we started at our Mike Tyson now. We started at our opponent's 30-yard line.
Right.
We started at our opponent's 30-yard line, and it was just a 70-yard bomb.
You're killing Delilah, by the way. You know that, right? I can't take it over there anymore.
I just wanted to come on and say something. I mean, that Tyreek Hill, he's impetuous and impregnable. Okay, I'm done.
Oh man, there it is. All right, Elisa. Even you're killing me there. You're killing me there, Mr. Fingers. You are. But again, we thank everyone. That was our segment, Over and Under. We're going to take a quick minute break here and enjoy this little video. So, of course, that was the video for our lovely Sunday show, but you can catch Sundays this fall pregame. This is everything before the big games on Sunday. So we'll have all your news, information, everything you like. Sean Spencer, myself, Nick Rosario, Nathan Snell, and our boy Dylan Walsh. Like that kid. He's funny. 15 years old kid knows more about football than I do.
He does know a lot.
Yeah, no, he does a lot. For 15, that kid, he knows too much. You'll call him Whiz Kid or something because that kid seems to know everything.
He's a cheesehead, but he's a good kid.
Yeah, well, I try not to hold that against him, but what can I do? But hey, it's time for another new segment on our show. So I want to introduce, and we will have a little opening for this next time. But right now, I just want to introduce a little segment we like to call the Rookie Spotlight with Anthony Handy.
And now
Anthony, take it away, my brother.
Now it's time for the Rookie Spotlight hosted by Mr. Fingers.
There you go.
I'm back. Hey gang, how's everybody doing? Hope everybody's enjoying the show. Before I get started, please, I would like to say, take a moment, like, share, subscribe, let everybody know. The likes, the shares, the subscribes, all of that helps the algorithm. So we appreciate those of you that are here tuning in and giving us all this good love and feedback. Today's rookie spotlight, I was since I was told I couldn't do Georgia players every week, even though there's 15 of them this year. Did I say that out loud? Okay, I'm sorry. This week's rookie spotlight, I would like to highlight a young man from San Ysidro, California. He was drafted number 11 in this year's 2022 NFL draft. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Chris Olave. We already know that he was a third team all Big Ten right now. Kate's like, wow, all the teams you had to pick somebody to be a rookie from. He was third all Big Ten in 2019. He was a two-time first team all Big Ten in 2020 and 2021. He played for Mission Hills High School in San Ysidro. During his career, his senior season, he caught 93 passes for over 1,700 yards and 26 touchdowns. Also played basketball and track, so he was a two-sport star, and he had committed to the university whose name Kate will never say out loud unless under severe duress, Ohio State University, in January 2018. From there, we know what he did at Ohio State. I mean, he was just absolutely ridiculous while he was at Ohio State. Played 38 games, had 176 receptions for 2,711 yards. And that was with two short seasons because he only played 7 games his first season, and he only played 7 games in 2020 due to a COVID shortened season. Averaged 15.4 yards per catch and a total of 36 touchdowns. So come draft time, they looked at him. The kid runs a 4.39 40-yard dash, and the combine completely crushes it. And the Saints were like, we can't pass this kid up. They jumped 5 spots up to pick him up. A lot of people were not very, people weren't sure where he was going to be. That knew he was going to make an immediate impact, but he wasn't even on the depth chart. He wasn't even on the depth chart at the beginning of the preseason. Now, as we get ready to move into the beginning of the regular season, he is now at the top of the depth chart at the right wide receiver spot. So that means he's going to be getting a lot of touches. And that is something that one of the reasons I'm excited to see this kid. I saw what he did in college. And then number 2, even though the Saints are my rivals, I just want to see what he can do for this team. I mean, we're talking about a New Orleans team that went through the glory years of the Super Bowl. Most of their players have either aged out, retired, even their coaches retired. They got a new first-year coach. The wide receiver in the receiver core, the tight end's average age is 31 years old. So he's bringing a little, he's not a tight end, he's a wide receiver, but he's bringing some youth and health to the wide receiver core. Michael Smith has had some sort of injury or other every single season for the last 3 seasons. So I really want to see what this guy can do. Jameis Winston, short season, 7 games and one. Here we go. Mike Tyson's trying to come out again. Get back in there, Mike. No, I want to do the thing. 7 games, 95 completions out of 161 attempts. He had a really low completion average, but he's got also threw for 1,170 yards. But Trevor Siemian also threw for 1,154 yards, and hell, even Taysom Hill threw for 978 yards. So you got 3 guys on the team that will definitely be able to get the ball around. But I want to see what this kid can do in the pros. Unfortunately for my beloved Falcons, we do play them in week 1, but I think that will be a very well hard-fought game. One of the things, a lot of people are very high on Mr. Smith. A lot of people are very high on Chris Olave. He almost didn't go to Ohio State. He decommitted because he wanted to stay closer to home. He wanted to either go to USC or Utah. Now, we know in retrospect, Utah probably would have been the better choice between the 2 teams, pre-Lincoln, between Pete, wedged in the middle between Pete Carroll and Lincoln Riley. They definitely would have had a better opportunity at Utah, but, we would not have even known about this kid had he not gone to Ohio State. So, and then also, that was it. That's all I've got. I know I had to make sure hit on all my touch points. But yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, we talked about Chris Olave. Everybody's talked about Chris Olave in the draft. Well, come this weekend, we're going to get to see Chris Olave, and I, for one, am very excited to see what he's going to do. I will definitely be keeping eyes on him to see what his rookie season is going to be like. So our premier rookie of the week, Chris Olave, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, Anthony, Mr. Fingers, thank you for that. I hope you're right, because I actually picked Olave in my first fantasy football draft as one of my bench players. So I'm hoping he sparks this year, and I can slide him in there somewhere when he's doing mass production there in New Orleans.
Well, I
want to thank you for that. Of course. Yep. Go ahead, sir. Yes.
The biggest thing.
Finger up. Remember, finger
there
up.
We go. Finger up.
There you go.
There we go.
There it is.
Sorry, brother pastor. I needed to.
No problem.
Just a little addendum to the announcements. Well, one of the biggest if factors is which Jameis Winston are the Saints getting this season, and if they get the good Jameis Winston, does he stay completely healthy? Those are going to be two of the biggest factors. Trevor Siemian, I mean, his performance, he had about the same performance as Jameis. His completion rate was 2% lower at 57%, but he still threw for about the same amount of yards. So, but that's going to be the factor. That will be the determining factor. Which quarterback does he get? And does that, if they get the good one, does he stay healthy?
Yeah.
Nope. I hope so, because
it's like Jameis said. It's like Jameis Winston said, we'll get there. This is week 1. We'll get there.
I mean, he got he got a starting gig, right? Chris Olave. I was seeing that. Like he made their starter. So
and Sean.
And I gotta agree with Sean. If Michael Thomas is there, you got it, baby.
Well, here's the thing: how long can he stay at 100%? I mean, he's 29 years old, which to us is not to me at 52 is not old at all. But
that's true.
In NFL years, and a guy that has been consistently injured year after year,
injured, right?
Yeah,
I hear you.
Yeah, so we'll see if he can stay. If he can stay 100%, Jameis can stay out of the crab leg section of Publix.
Yeah.
You're hilarious.
Oh my goodness.
This guy.
Yeah, it should be fun though.
Killing me this week.
It should be fun to watch, Chris. I think you're right. I think it'll be fun to watch this kid go,
Yeah,
I agree. I 100% hope so.
Yeah.
But
I almost dropped to absolutely on you, Nick. I almost.
Oh, did you really? You almost gave me that one?
Yeah.
Well, I would excuse. All right, you sure? I just want to make sure, because I mean,
Thank you for sharing that,
man.
Anthony. That was a good segment. This is fun. Thank you.
Great.
That's cool.
We appreciate that. Again, you will see this every week. Then the rookie spotlight with Anthony Handy. You also want to be called Mr. Fingers, and we thank you for that, sir. Well, look at that, folks. Hard to believe that 54 minutes has gone by that fast, huh? But we've come to the end of our show, as it were. But of course, we don't want to just leave you like that, because we want to give you what we like to call one last thought. And one last thought is going to start this week. You just heard from the man, but we're going to let him clean it up for us. Mr. Fingers, what is your one last thought for this beautiful week here, this Tuesday evening, August 30th?
I have been saying this since I got back from Virginia. As many of you know, I went to Virginia for a few days for a little short trip to visit with folks that I have not seen in 3 years, since way pre-COVID. The last time I was there was in the summer of 2019. We were 6 months away from being put in timeout for about 1.5 years, 2 years, and I hadn't seen anybody. And you sit at home and you think, oh, life's good. I'm here with my wife every day. Blah blah blah. Love my wife. Yada yada. And then you get out and you get to looking, and I noticed the closer I got to going to Virginia, the more excited I got. And yes, I was tired. Hey, the coffee has kicked in. It must be showtime. Lights on. Oh my God, I'm so tired. Showtime. Yes, here I am. There's Mike Tyson. The thing is the closer I got to going to Virginia, the more excited I got, because it meant to be able to see and talk to people, because so many things that happened over so many years. And so the thing that I wanted to drop on you, and I've been saying since I got back, is just take some time and unplug and get away. Find something to do, whatever it is that gives you that joy. And especially if you have people that you enjoy doing that thing with. I didn't realize, I said before, I don't ever want to go back to being a full-time karaoke DJ, but just having a couple of days to go back and be with my folks and just do karaoke and be around those folks and just be Mr. Fingers in little flashes, and then of course Mr. Sean Spencer Mr. Sean Spencer with the cameo appearance. But I'm just gonna tell y'all, if you haven't seen the video of Mr. Sean Spencer doing the gin and juice, those of you that are in the Let's Talk Football chat, y'all have seen it. My man's can put it down on the microphone. It was just nice to do something, to go and find that, and be like, hey, let's do this I forgot how much fun this was. So just take some time and find that thing and do it and have fun doing it. Because, one day you blink and you won't be able to do it like you used to do it anymore. So enjoy it.
That is correct. I agree. Thank you, sir, for that. I appreciate that. Delilah, your last thought.
Yeah, so basically what I was going to say is just kind of enjoy the change in the season. I know, like, wherever you are, I know seasons are a little different, wherever you are region-wise, but we still feel it in the air, right? I love the Halloween season. I love spooky season. It's actually, like, my favorite holiday. I like everything about it. I love the fall smells, the fall foods, and just the kind of feel of it. It's cozy. It's not cold yet because I live in Chicago, but
right.
you throw on it's hoodie, sweater season, and then you're comfortable. You get to enjoy like that crisp. And so it's just basically like just kind of enjoy that change, because sometimes like everything can be overwhelming. Like I thought I was late to the show this morning. I was messaging Nick, like, I'm sorry, I need 10 minutes. And he's like, it's not for another hour. And I'm like, well, that's great. So
exactly.
like, so even I have to kind of pause and do the same thing. So, pause and kind of enjoy the change, and whatever you need to do to feel good, like go have that pumpkin spice latte, like don't let people take your fun. I'm just saying, like, hey, if that's gonna change your bad mood, right? Turn that frown upside down, then you go and do that, So go ahead and indulge and just kind of enjoy that. Take that moment to enjoy the shift in the seasons. So that's it.
No, I'm with that, and I will leave you with my last thought. And it's funny because it's sort of in the similar vein of these lovely people that we have here on the show, along with myself, because I, especially this week, kind of learning, like, having some time off and what to do with that time off. Because I went from 2 jobs to 1. And so the one job I have allows me some time off, from week to week. And so it's like, man, trying to figure out what to do with myself to keep busy, or to just do something, go out for a day and just have a lunch with someone, or reconnect with someone, or give a phone call, or anything like that. Because, yeah, I just think those things just, I don't know. I've just been so like upbeat, and I felt so great this week, just talking to different people and being able to just, decompress and sit back and relax and, catch up on some TV shows and all that stuff. And it's just, we all need to take a little time for ourselves. I think that's the bottom line of what I'm trying to say, folks. And again, Anthony kind of echoed that. Delilah echoed that. And I think it's really important. It's important for your mental health. It's important for your overall health. And probably important for anybody you might live with, because you probably drive them crazy on any given day. So again, just for me, just take a little time to go out and smell those roses. Go out and have that lunch. Go out and, go to that carnival, whatever it is. Just take a little time to enjoy that view and enjoy life. That's my last thought. So again, we want to thank you all for watching. Seriously, we love you guys. I mean, subscribe. You see all the shows that we have here in the Let's Talk Football family. Check us all out. You'll see our pretty faces other places. We got so much more going on. So thank you so much. That's it for this week. Next week, Tuesday is September 6th. I do have a work engagement. So next week will be hosted by Mr. Sean Spencer. You'll still get the lovely Delilah Crespo and Anthony. Call me Mr. Fingers Handy. And you guys have a great week, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.